Yeah, we're live.
All right, hello everyone and welcome to this watch along जहां पर इंडिया शुरुआत कर रही है अपने T20 वर्ल्ड कप के कैंपेन के पाकिस्तान के साथ। जी हाँ, अगर आपने मैच अभी तक नहीं देखा हो तो हम आपको अपडेट दे दें। पाकिस्तान ने पहले टॉस जीता और बल्लेबाजी का फैसला किया और हमने एक शानदार साझेदारी देखी आयशा नसीम और बिस्मा मारूफ के बीच, जिसकी बदौलत पाकिस्तान पहुंचा 149 पर। अ वेरी गुड फर्स्ट इनिंग टोटल। व्हाट डू यू थिंक, अवनीश?
I mean, we were watching it together, Vaishali. That last 5 overs, 58 runs. Obviously, those two drop catches. I think because 150 psychologically is up against India, it's going to be a good run chase. But I back the women in blue. What do you feel?
Definitely, I will always back the women in blue, and I think they're gonna chase it down. But I think the fielding is something which has let us down this time.
Correct.
The drop catch from Radha Yadav, who is our best fielder. Even Harleen there, she could have, taken that catch, but I don't know. I still believe that we will chase it down.
Yeah. Okay. So first ball, Yastika with a brilliant cover drive for no run. Of course, no Spriti Mandhana in this one. If you guys are not aware, she of course had a finger injury. How big a blow will that be to India's chances, especially with them chasing 150?
Now I think she could have made a big difference, but I believe Yastika has got the opportunity. She can use the power play really well. She's coming from a good domestic season. Recently played a good innings of 99 runs, not out. So I think if she can utilize this power play really well, we won't miss Smriti Mandhana.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a fantastic shot, and that's four.
That starts with a boundary.
Brilliant from Yastika. I mean, we were kind of saying that she was slow in that 50-over World Cup, but obviously different formats. But let's see how she goes on. Anything to be worried about from a Pakistan perspective and how their bowlers are? Because obviously, whenever the male take on each other, we always are worried about Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shafidi and all of that. Do Pakistan's women pose a threat with the ball?
I think looking at this pitch, how the first inning played, I think spin is something we should be really careful with. Because the ball is coming on nicely on the bat when the pacers are bowling, and we were able to see in the first inning as well. Aisha Naseem hit some good shots, but I think spin is something which India should be looking very carefully how they're going to go about it. So the way they're going to operate between spin and pace is where the game will be decided.
Yeah, I mean, pertinent points you mentioned there. By the way, all you guys watching us right now on this Sunday, do give us a like and subscribe. Tell a friend because there's going to be watch-alongs for the rest of the Women's World Cup as well. We're doing the India games, and Vaishali will be with us. She's a new face, and she brings a lot of pull. So much pull that she met just with Bumrah recently.
Yeah,
how did that go? Was that
it
good?
Was awesome. It was awesome to meet. Since BGT was going on, I was missing him, so I just thought of meeting him. That was awesome. Obviously, you love to meet the people from the sport you're most excited about.
Correct.
And I often just go want to meet them, see the heroes, how they are.
I mean, to be fair, we're privileged to be, of course, working in Bangalore, which, of course, houses the NCA. So it's not too far away from the CDC headquarters. And she, of course, if you follow her on social media, you'll find that she has pictures of pretty much every cricketer out there. It sometimes makes me very envious as a fellow cricket fan. But look, we'll talk about other things. Do let us know in the comments what you guys want us to talk about. Everything women's cricket. Remember, tomorrow is a big day in terms of Indian women's cricket history. I say that because it's the women's IPL auction, and we'll bring you all the updates on cricket.com. Now that I've brought it up, India, by the way, 6 for none. If you guys are joining us, sync your streams in for this watch along. It's going to be fun, and of course, it's going to be a brilliant run chase. Now, I have to ask Vaishali about the women's IPL, which of course starts 2:30 on Monday, Feb 13th. Mark your calendars. What's to look forward to? And talk to me, Vaishali.
First of all, it feels like I'm going under the hammer. I don't know why, but it feels like that. Some nervousness is there, some excitement is there, but yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the domestic players, especially. They've been working really hard in the domestic setup, and finally getting them that opportunity that they deserve will be wonderful. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, cap players we have seen all across the formats, but then domestic players, someone who are literally looking for. And this is not for players. In fact, the people who are gonna be taking up the sport, looks like this is a viable option now. You can take the sports as a career in your life, because women's cricket we had seen 5 years back then there were not many opportunities. People were not looking to take it, because you don't know, you'll get a game, you'll not get a game.
Correct.
And but this WIPL and WPL, to be precise, is gonna be the game changer, and you will see a lot of talents which you would not have seen before, because obviously the streams doesn't have it. And I believe the quality that you're seeing in other sites like Australia, for example, the way they dominate. I feel if you see this IPL, you'll see a lot of new talents, and you'll see people who you will be surprised to see. Okay, these guys were also there in our
Yeah.
setup, and we didn't know. So I'm literally looking forward for it. I'm very excited for the domestic players, especially. They'll get a game. They will get the chance to showcase their power to the world.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
I mean, I can just feel it with her energy because it's infectious right now, and she's a big women's cricket fan. We all are. And with the women's IPL, I think it's going to be doing the same thing that it's done with the men's all those years ago, which is act like a catalyst and hopefully propel Indian women's cricket to the highest pinnacle, right? Because we so often compare the women's Big Bash League and how that's had an effect on the Australia women's cricket team. Hopefully, we can have that as well. Now, just a couple of FAQs that I want to ask you about the women's IPL. Can you just explain to the viewers in terms of how many teams, how many women's players will be part of each team and squads and so on and so forth?
Sure. So there will be 5 teams, as you all know, and all the 5 names have been announced. The franchisee name, Royal Challengers Bangalore. Then you have Mumbai Indians. Then you have UP Warriors. Then you have Lucknow Super Giants, and then you have Delhi Capitals. Sorry, not Lucknow Super Giants, Delhi Capitals. So these are the 5 teams, and then every team is allowed to have minimum of 15 and maximum of 18 players.
Okay.
The overseas slot is 7, and they can also field up to 5 overseas players. The condition being one has to be from the associate nation. So that's about the main rules that we have as of now. Definitely excited to know that we will be having the same impact rule also, like we have for, like it was just introduced for IPL. So yeah, very exciting time for it. Hopefully tomorrow will be a good day for
Yeah.
a lot many domestic players who have been working tirelessly round the clock, and hopefully they get a contract tomorrow.
Yeah,
And we
fingers
see a lot
crossed
of
for all you guys,
happiness.
of course. And I'm sure there'll be so many people tuning into that women's IPL auction. So if I do the math correctly, most probably 90 women could be going under the hammer tomorrow. I'll be interested to know. So can you give us any sort of early information somehow with the domestic players, or if you have any particular hunch of which player is going to go where?
Yeah, before that, I would just like to tell you, even the people who have got shortlisted
Mhm.
are, absolutely congratulations to them. As if you guys don't know, some 1,505 players were registered. Only 409 got shortlisted. And
Okay.
today, one more listing, around 40 players have been added there. So getting shortlisted to that 400 is going to be it's a achievement in itself. But having said that, as you spoke about the players we should look forward for, I think there are a couple of players who have been doing good in the recent form in their domestic season. One being Jasia Akhtar. She's a hard hitter of the ball. She plays for Rajasthan. She's captaining Rajasthan, and she's the one you can look forward in the uncapped. I think many franchisees would want to
Yeah.
take her, especially in the IPL. She can open the innings, and from the first ball, she can clear any stadium in the
Wow.
world. That's the power she has.
Hmm.
Then we have many bowlers as well. If I have to name, there's one all-rounder, Ashwini Kumari from
Okay.
Jharkhand. She can actually. Hi, Nikhil.
Hi, Nikhil. What's up? Sorry, we were just talking about the whole women's IPL tomorrow, man. It's exciting times, of course. Vaishali was just
Yes.
telling us in terms of the big players who can go out there and get big money. She was telling me
Yep.
about the domestic players, but I'm also curious to know about the big names in world cricket and women's cricket, of course, that is. Will we be able to see a Nat Siva play for RCB women or a Harmanpreet Kaur? Because I'll be chomping at the bits, Vaishali.
I know the RCB factor that you have, but yeah, obviously cap players, as we talk about, since in this IPL we do not have a draft kind of thing which we have in the men's IPL. So definitely everyone will go under the hammer, and every team would want to have Smriti Mandhana in
Yeah,
their team.
yeah.
Every team would want to have Harmanpreet Kaur in their team. So you can see a lot of bidding war. I'm not sure if she's coming to RCB, but definitely you can see RCB bidding for her. And mind you guys, the purse is only 12 crore. So it's very, very interesting to see how the teams will gonna strategize themselves, because as you are aware, the best prizes are set up like this for domestic 10, 20, and 30, and for international player it's 30, 40, and 50.
Okay.
So very exciting to know how they will, because the cap player will come in the first set, and see how much prize they fetch and how much is left for the remaining things. So very excited about it.
I mean, Nikhil, talk to me about this women's IPL, which is, of course, going to hit our screens tomorrow. You can cast your mind back 15 years ago for that 2008 IPL auction for the male, and we can kind of narrate it to the viewers how it happened yesterday, right? We all kind of saw what happened there. How much are you looking forward to this? Because I know you're a huge cricket fan yourself, but I'm surely thinking that we're going to see something extraordinary tomorrow and in the years to follow.
Yes, yes. I'm sure it's going to be changing the face of how this is entirely set up. I mean, we saw what it done for various nations across. So
Yeah,
for India to finally have it, hopefully it will definitely happen tomorrow. There is no other thing that can stop it now. So that should just set the ball rolling because there is enough talent. There are enough number of people who are tuning in every day in the morning, going practice and come back, and not every them all of them get the opportunity to represent the country. So this
Exactly.
is a way to not just bring them to limelight but also give a lot of employment opportunities to a lot of the folks who are not always going to see, let's be practical, not everybody plays for the country, but
correct.
you are still good enough to at least play for your club franchise and earn a good living. So hopefully that is what we'll see through. And it is always going to be great to have, say, a Smriti Mandhana or a Nat Sivat share her experiences with a dressing room of people who lesser known, cricketers. It is going to be life changing for them, and of course, it is very exciting because all of us grow up wanting to have an opportunity. I mean, you would go crazy if you were to share a dressing room with Kohli tomorrow morning. So it just tells you how much bubbly you just suddenly feel that okay, how exciting it is going to be for the players involved. But I also hope for those who do not get selected, there is enough help and infrastructure set up in a way that they don't feel left out and
Yeah.
everybody is taken care of in the system because everybody matters. You may not make it tomorrow, but I'm
Yeah.
sure the system will definitely take care of you, hopefully.
I think it's multifold. The advantages that we can
Yeah.
just all three of us sit down and actually make like a list of positives. It's insane. The exposure, talent meets opportunities, generally an IPL slogan. I think without stating the obvious for the women's game, that's brilliant. And plus, it just automatically you're on broadcast. You're much more visible to the eyes. So it just gives you a platform. And like Nikhil said, I mean, it'd be lovely for say a Richa Ghosh to like bowl with a Nat Siver
Exactly. Yeah.
or a Sun Lewis or whoever's playing. Let's come back to the game which matters right now because India have actually got off to a
Excellent. Yeah.
decent start. They're pretty much, I mean, meeting up the required run rate right now, which is 7.5, but they're what 21 for none after three, which is 7 and over. Nikhil, what do you make of the Pakistan finish in particular? Because, like she mentioned at the top of the show, Bisma played a blinder. I mean, in terms of really holding one end up, but it was Naseem who really came in. And I know she was part of the under 19 squad, but she's taken to the national team pretty well in terms of the seniors women team.
Yes, yes, and I
Right?
think I tweeted about that as well. This that she's always had the build up about being someone who's very aggressive and getting the big shots, and that's what she did. And it was also the kind of freedom with which they wanted to play because they kept enough in hand that after the moment Nidada went, you kind of felt that okay, this could really not go down, as it did. But to score that many in just like they had a 81 run partnership in 47 balls, it just
Yeah.
tells you it was crazy acceleration. And I think India will feel let down by the fielding. There were too many lapses towards the later half. You definitely missed a few chances as well. So I think that is something that the team will definitely want to look at. But yeah, happy for Naseem. Also more happy that because I had picked that in my side. So yeah, definitely happier in that sense.
Yeah, the inevitable was the fantasy. Sorry, Vaishali just dropped the phone, which I'll
No.
give her. Now, Vaishali was mentioning a good point, Nikhil. The fact that we
Yeah,
were watching the game just before we came on,
yeah.
two pacers, one of which is Pooja Vastrikar, the other is, of course, Redika, who conceded, 18 in that over, and she was forced to bowl some wides. Is that a cause for concern going ahead in this tournament, or are they picking horses for courses because slower surfaces, Vaishali?
I think Renika is always a good. She's always been a good bowler.
Correct.
Just like today, Aisha Naseem came
Hmm.
as a surprise. You can see
Yeah.
like she was liking the ball was coming nicely onto the bat. She was hitting it hard, but without a doubt, Renika is a good bowler. But I think today, as Nikhil also mentioned, fielding is something which we could have done better if we wouldn't have. Dropped those two catches, the score would have been around 120 or 130. Especially when Nirajar was out, we were like, okay, this game is in our hand.
Yeah.
But then Aisha and I mean Naseem and the way Bisma Maruf played. I think I'm impressed with her today. I think it's her one of the best innings you can say.
Yeah.
She has repeated the 2018 game. So that partnership was something which India also want to recreate. I don't know who will be the two players, but if we get such kind of partnership, we'll be through with this game.
I mean, if that really happens, that'll be good. Slightly drifting
Oh,
down. Oh, she's given it. She's given it. And Sadia is elated. Shefali can't believe it.
I think it's going down.
Yeah, it's
there.
going down.
Down
Initially,
there.
we both looked at it, I think,
Yeah.
and she
She
rightly
took the review.
refused as well. Remember, Shefali Verma is coming off the under 19 World Cup winning medal around her neck. So she's going into this tournament with plenty of confidence. However, she's not got a lot of confidence with that decision right now because I think surely must be drifting down. Vikram, I think your question answers itself because we saw how Pakistan had almost a tale of two halves where they were 68 for 4 or something like that, and then
Yeah.
they managed to muster 149, which will give them plenty of confidence. And mind you, for you guys not knowing this, the last time Pakistan and India met in a women's T20 was that Asia Cup. And Vaishali corrected me earlier saying that they beat us, even though it was not like a big game. Shefali can only win this saying Bharat Kotwani. Good to see you, Bharat. What's your gut feel, Nick, about this? LBW is definitely drifting down, like I said, right?
It could be umpire's call.
Or could be Empire's call,
Yeah.
one of those.
I think it should go down. You could see two
Go
stumps and a half.
Yeah, you can.
I
Normal.
really,
Yeah.
it's going down. I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Normal Hawkeye
Because
should take it down.
how crucial is Shefali? Very.
She's literally because she can actually utilize the power play
Yeah.
very well. Smriti is not there. We do not have many hitters down. I mean, we do have it, but Shefali's.
Oh, it's going down. It's
Wow.
going down. To
Oh, yes.
So India get a reprieve. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so I'm saying Shefali being there, she can just hit like 20 ball or 40 runs or 35 runs, and then that can change the momentum. The way what Aisha Naseem did for us, she can do initially in the first power play itself. So
Yeah.
I feel she's really important.
And she's one of those only few women batters out there right now who can up the ante and add a little bit of impetus in the innings. We've seen that in the
Yeah,
past. Hopefully she doesn't get stuck.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she comes down the ground. She gets a little bit of lady luck. Should we say
She'll
it? She'll
get a
get four.
four,
And she'll
not
get
where
four.
she wanted, but it's a four.
Okay, now I want to throw the question that are these raised in the comments below to both of you guys because you guys, of course, know Harman pretty well. Not personally, maybe Vaishali does.
No.
But what do you guys make of her captaincy? And he goes on to say, is it often questionable in terms of a captaincy and the decisions he takes out there? Vaishali and then Nick can have to say.
I really don't think so. She has been a good captain since the time Natali is not there. And even when Natali was there, she used to be a vital part of the leadership group.
Mhm.
And often, like we have seen India's performance in the recent year, even you see Commonwealth Games, obviously, sometimes we have that batting chop, which we talk about. But then otherwise, I don't think like there's any problem in as such in the captaincy. She has taken a good call. And all of it, yeah, obviously the playing 11 is something which we always complain because there won't be anyone who will always be satisfied with the playing 11.
But the playing 11 comes down to Harmanpreet right now with Rishikesh Karithal.
Yeah, coach. That's right. But I feel I'm happy with how Harman captains. I do not have much of a problem with it.
Okay.
Obviously, our opinions can differ in terms of you could have used this person here, that person here, but I feel like I'm pretty much happy with how she captains.
Is it big shoes to fill, Nikhil, with Mithali Raj, of course, now drawing curtains on her career? How do people perceive Harmanpreet, the captain? Because they obviously love her as a batter and the energy she brings, and she's almost like that Virat Kohli equivalent to the women's team. But how do you kind of rate her as a captaincy in her early days?
I think I'll call it a mixed bag kind of thing. Sometimes it's looked like, oh, what a great, brilliant call. But most of the times it's looked like, okay, but you could have done this. Now, again, as she said, obviously she's going to play to a plan that is pre-decided. And
Yeah.
and at all times it may not make sense to us, but they are playing to a plan. They feel some of the rules are different. But it is with the usage of bowlers at different intervals. Before that, whenever we played bilaterals, it's how sometimes Radha Yadav has been used, how Gaikwad has been used. Today, Dipti was bowling three in the power play, which I felt one was in, maybe two was fine. You could have held her back. One more in the end was because your paces are not always reliable, and Dipti has done that enough for you in the end overs. So again, these are all again hindsight definitely helps in that aspect, but I feel she will get better. The one thing that also adds to her advantage is the number of options that she has, which is not always the case with Mithali. So that will definitely get the system rolling much better. But yeah, I think this World Cup will be a very stern test because they've had a few very good results, but they've also had a few very, wow, this cannot happen kind of results as a team. So I
Yeah.
think this World Cup is very, very critical for all of them combined.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it from Indian cricket perspective. If the women in blue fail to make the semi-finals, obviously it'll be deemed as a big failure. But even if they do slip up in the final, I think they can't be too hard on themselves, because I know the best ever finish they've had is what, a runners-up medal in that 2020 edition. I mean, in terms of T20 cricket, the women's. They haven't,
Recently,
yeah, recently, right?
recent even Commonwealth Games was a good tournament for us.
Yeah.
Obviously, as I mentioned before, that our batting let us down that time itself. But yeah, definitely we have this possibility of making into the semi-finals very easily this time.
Yeah.
Considering the teams that we have and considering the strengths that we possess in this squad.
Yeah.
Like we have as oh, that's a good shot,
She's
and
found the gap.
yeah,
Sorry, carry on.
that's a good shot from Shifali for all of you guys watching. It's 32 for no loss. We are just in the fifth over,
Yeah.
one ball to go, and
It's a good start. It's a very solid start. I'm assured. I know there was a little bit of luck with the LBW decision not
it was
going.
not enough. It would have been them.
The edge as well. The edge as well. But by the way, the slow over rate did cost us if you were not
Yeah.
watching this
Yeah.
first innings, because
Exactly.
Pakistan took advantage of that. She's gone similar. Was it almost an action replay shot? But this was for 133 for none. We were speaking about Harmanpreet, the captain. Speak about captains and vice captains. I'm really curious to, of course, ask Nick always, who was featuring in his fantasy setup for this one, India Pakistan. How did you pick your team this time around? Was it cricket.com which helped you?
Yeah, they do with the Crickletics insights in terms of the projections that they make. But of course, I had Naseem shortlisted much before, and that's the thing.
How do you
I had Gardner.
always get it right, man? Like, that's what, like, everyone wants to know, who follows you on Twitter, people in the office as well. Like the other day, the Zimbabwe West Indies game was going on,
Okay.
and he's captain Brathwaite, he's vice captain Mavuta, and I'm just looking at the scorecard.
How
Mavuta's
many
taking
teams
wickets.
you make, Nikhil?
It's mad.
That's
Ask him
the
that.
first
What a
question.
shot, by the way. What a
That's
shot.
nice.
Brilliant shot.
Yes, that's
Sorry, Nikhil,
very-
go on. So, who's the captain and vice captain for this one?
Yeah, of course, Deepthi was the captain, and the common option is Nidada. We gotta expect her to bowl a crucial. She got it on a duck, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think an example of why you don't always get it right. Now, I didn't have Healy yesterday because I didn't expect her to score, but my captain was Gardner, so
Okay.
she more than made up for whatever I missed with Healy. And of course, it's the kind of punts that you take once you watch enough games. I think Australia is the one nation that you shudder because of the. It's almost like they have 9 bowling options. You don't know who will bowl where and in what capacity. So, but yeah, it's good to get when you get it right. But yeah, let's see.
So, what's your standing as of now, Nikhil?
So far, we are going fine because in one team I had. Oh, that's a poor.
Oh, let's go on
shit.
Pakistan.
It's a soft dismissal for
Very soft.
Yastiki Verma.
Very soft.
Very soft dismissal. I
Oh,
feel.
And
was it?
the
Yeah, I mean,
impact
soft
index.
is-
The
describe
impact
it.
index also gives a minus 1.52. Just think about it on cricket.com. So it just
Because of the
tells
strike
you
rate.
it's like
Yeah.
20 ball 17. So it
Yeah.
hasn't quite helped the cause. But yeah, Shefali got a few handy boundaries. So kind of
Yeah.
makes it a very even game. Big call now with Jemima at 3 and the left arm thread because she's troubled by them before. So
Yeah.
very, very keen to see how she paces her knock now.
Zenina will get a cover drive in her first ball, first 4 balls, then she will score a big run.
Okay, that's very
Is what I
bold
feel.
from
Yeah,
Vaishali to
because
say
the
that.
comfort shot, the release shot of Jemima is the cover drive.
That is true.
Yeah.
If she
And
can
that
put
gives
that,
us plenty of confidence.
yes, if she
Yeah.
can put that one in the gap,
Yeah.
she's gonna score big today.
Hmm. By the way, Manan Mundra, good to see you in the comments. Hopefully, you are the first time viewer subscribed already. And he goes on to ask how much India would score in this match.
All of
I'm
them.
hoping all your friends.
Yes.
Okay, great to see you. Tulsi and of course Manan. Big shout out to you guys as well. How much do you think India will score today? 150, I reckon.
Obviously, we have to score that
We
much
have to
to
score that.
win the game. We feel, I think we are in a good position to be honest. Yeah, obviously, Yastika getting out is she would have capitalized. That's what we wanted her to.
True.
See, this
But
is
if
the
I
shot.
if I offered you 40 for 1 after 6 overs, you'd take it.
I
right?
would have taken it. Yeah.
Nick, you?
And being Shafali still there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shafali
I would have taken it. Yeah.
which is a safe start. Vikram Mohanty also saying we cannot have too many drop balls, need to keep the scoreboard taking occasional 4s and 6s. Yeah, but you see how Pakistan finished their innings. I know we have who Richa Ghosh, Pooja Vaslikar, who are good strikers, and cricket ball,
Harmanpreet
Harmanpreet herself. So we
Even
have plenty of
Harleen there
arsenal.
also.
And Harleen as
Yeah.
well. So Harleen will come in next, you suppose?
I think it will depend on
Okay.
how this partnership will go.
Okay.
I feel Harleen can come and even Harmanpreet can promote herself as well.
Okay.
And if needed, Deepti Sharma can also get up the order.
Yeah.
Having that left and right hand combination. So
Yeah,
there are
India-
plenty of options, as Nikhil
You
was
know what I
mentioning.
actually like about this Indian women's team off late is that they have a lot of batting depth, but
Yes.
they have a lot of options in the ball hand as well. And that's a fantastic way to
Sure.
finish the power play. And Shafali Varma, 16 ball, 24 so far, and India 43 for 1 with 6 overs gone. So they're getting there. 107 from another 14 required. Let us know in the comments below how much India are kind of going to get. I think it's 150. And if you guys think that the women in blue can do the unthinkable and win the Women's World Cup, I think they can. I potentially see an Australia-India final. I don't know about you. What do you see?
Obviously, it looks like Australia will definitely go
Yeah.
in every tournament they play.
Correct.
This is not a question. They will make it.
But do you think our hardest game in the group is England, without a doubt? Or do you
Yeah,
think West
obviously.
Indies can cause a surprise?
No, I think England will come hard on us.
Yeah.
Considering, after the Commonwealth, we beat them in the Commonwealth, but then we had a series after it. We lost that series in the T20Is. So England is definitely the tougher competition. West Indies is also, considering how the first match has happened in this World Cup,
Yeah.
Sri Lanka beating South Africa. I feel anything can happen. But yeah, England, you can expect a good fight back from England, and they're gonna, what do you say?
Challenge India.
Challenge, and they'll ask us to fight back, or they'll ask us to put a lot of efforts for us to win that game.
Yeah, it won't be an easy game. I mean, they dismantled West Indies in their opening clash earlier, I think on Friday or Saturday it was, but they got a positive result. Nikhil, I just want to ask you in terms of the inevitable question that we always ask in women's cricket right now, regardless the format, who can really be the contenders to topple Australia? Because they will always be there. It'll be a big surprise if Australia miss out in the semi-finals, let alone the final. So who has it in them? Is it India? Is it England that can really topple that Australian juggernaut? Or do you see Australia again dominating this tournament from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, see, you definitely see the class and strength that Australia brings to the table.
Correct.
It's not like they stop somewhere. I mean, Talia Megra batted at number 7.
Yeah.
How do you combat that kind of strength? And you saw how everybody just came in and kept scoring, kept scoring, kept scoring, kept scoring. So
Yeah.
it just doesn't stop. Where do you end? So I think the key with them is to just keep striking. And I do feel India, England, they have that strength in them that, okay, they have the option, but it's going to be, you will need the perfect day. Let's put it very honestly. You will have to have your best day in terms of as a unit to beat Australia in the form and in the options that they have. Because you look
Yeah.
at the pace bowling options they have, they are covered with shoot. You have Brown, they have Perry, who will definitely have. You have Megra, you have Gardner took 5 yesterday. Tyler McGrath can bowl. There are so many options. You take 6 wickets. Grace Harris comes and scores a 20 ball 50. You can't do anything about it. So you'll have to have the perfect day. Uh, I do feel England and India do have the strength, but I would love a new winner. I don't. I know it is very, 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 very tough to find that.
New winner is India this time.
Absolutely, I agree with
Hopefully, I
you.
mean, not Australia. Let's put it that way. New winner, maybe not Australia. That's all.
The options Australia has, even we have the similar kind of option. I think off late we are not able to utilize the strength that we possess. 7, you talk about 7, Ashley Garden was coming. For us, 7, you see Deepti Sharma, Pooja Vaslikar coming down at number 7.
Correct.
So we have the similar kind of option, just that this time we have to play as a unit
Hmm.
and come back stronger every time.
Shot, she's got a cover drive in the first 4 balls.
And yes, she was
Oh, it's a 4th ball. It's the 4th ball. She's got a cover drive. And Charlie's a soothsayer, let alone an anchor here. And it's
Yes.
good to see her. And what a shot that is, by the way.
Yeah,
She had
so
to open the
now
middle
she
of the
has got that confidence which she needs. I
Yeah.
told you, she's gonna score victory.
ball. Oh, she saw that like a little rasmalai. I mean, it was literally tossed over the eye line. She's like, go and have a drive. And she's beat the backward point over there. Just getting back to the Australia team, are they the best ever women's cricket team you've seen? Because you watched a lot of women's cricket. He's mentioned the names there. And if Talia McGrath doesn't get you, someone else will. If Elisa Healy doesn't get you, Beth Mooney will. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right?
That's right. It's the team of champions, you would say.
Yeah.
And the domination of themselves, the trophies that they have won,
Yeah.
it speaks of itself. So they have been the team always to beat in any kind of tournament. So yeah, definitely. I think if you India is getting there,
Yeah.
not there, but India is getting there. This WIP
Yeah.
will gonna help a lot. And because that's where we were lacking, right?
Yeah.
We are not able to capitalize on the crunch moment, pressure situation. We are not able to see how to go through that. But this IPL will gonna help a
Yeah.
lot. And also to what we were speaking before, you get to see or you get to learn the mindset that they have,
Yeah.
the way they have been dominating. Why are they dominating so much? So the mindset is also very important. And I think this will going to help, and I'm hopeful that in the next 1 or 2 years you will see India dominating such kind of tournaments
Yeah.
like Australia are doing right now.
Australia women's cricket champions, like you mentioned. I mean, they're the world power right now in terms of what they do on the field, Nikhil. But why is that? Is it because the Women's Big Bash League has unearthed talents and that's kind of been fruitful for them in their national endeavors? How do you see their success? What do you put it down to?
Definitely, the domestic structure, it is far better and in much better shape as compared to the other nations, and you see it in the way they play.
Yeah.
You don't get such players just like that. It's not a drop like, okay, suddenly you've got so many all rounders who can do that. So these are all the guys. These are all the players who've been doing this enough for the domestic sides, and then when they play the WBBL, they are entrusted with the difficult roles, and that is what you want to see. I want to see Pooja Vastagar being entrusted with the role that, okay, you will bowl in the end overs. Then that is what will test both Pooja's skills, and also she'll be able to learn if she has, say, a Perry by her side.
Yeah.
How is Perry thinking? What is she giving as an option? So all those things are about help you grow as a cricketer. And as Vaishala rightly said, it's the experience and exposure under pressure.
Yeah.
We know what happened in the ODI World Cup, how you could not get it. Looked like an obvious thing to do, but it still didn't happen because of the pressure and the way it got to the players. But that is why you need such leagues. You want to have them play these many games in your packed crowds, well experienced and well packed international stars, so that under pressure they are able to make better decisions. So I
Yeah.
think Australia do that for a living. They have so many great players that the league will benefit, and I'm just hoping the distribution is such that not one team is loaded with the too many star
Exactly.
players. Hopefully the distribution is such, and of course it's an auction, so you can't control that, but hopefully enough distributed everywhere so that everybody grows together.
Mm. You know what? Really, I'm thinking about right now when the women's IPL kicks off. I just hope that the crowds are just flocking to the stadiums regardless, because it's something that will definitely help the players. Because we talk about pressure scenarios and stuff, and why even the male players have thrived. Because if you're bowling in a stadium with 60,000 people,
Yes.
you're definitely gonna be under the pump, and that's where it kind of teaches you to manage nerves and all that. Vikram Mohanty goes on to say, it's possible to chase this provided wickets don't crumble. Beating Australia and England and South Africa are the team to beat. We have to up the game. If we have to up the game, what do we have to kind of? I know you mentioned fielding right now,
Yeah.
and fielding is something that India will definitely learn and then get
Yeah.
better at. But do you think we should probably take a page out of the way Australia approached the innings? If they're batting first or second, you still see their attacking intent no matter what.
Yeah, definitely you would want to see the individual coming and putting their heads up that we're gonna win this for the team.
Correct.
Every time not you can expect Richa Ghosh to come and score those runs and
Yeah.
every time. But I think individual coming together, putting them as a performance as a unit, because we have the resources, we have the skill set which is required to win any game. Only thing is that we crumble in some kind of situation. If we
Mm.
can control those pressure situation, how we're gonna handle it? Keeping a cool mindset, not giving up the wickets, we can win any game at any point of time.
Yeah.
And just mentioning to your point,
Short. She's got that away, and that could run away for four.
Four,
This
yes.
does run away for four.
Jemima
Brilliant.
is looking in a good touch,
That's
and she's
right.
gonna score big
That's right.
today.
Vasandaran saying, I do feel India does lack pace bowling depth. I hope the women's IPL does unearth that aspect. The women's IPL is going to unearth a lot of things,
Yes.
Vasant. A lot of
Yes.
things. And she mentioned a couple of players, but we'll probably get an article or get a video out for you guys later in terms of the ones to watch out. So I think it's already there in the cricket.com website, so check it out. And all you 30 people, lovely people watching us right now on a Sunday, do subscribe and tell a friend, because at the end of the day, we need more subscriptions. Our Earth is best saying, Vikram is your name, Devashish Mohanty. I mean, come on. Earth is best is having an absolute go. It's sad the BCCI has been sleeping all this time, ignoring our women's team. The women's IPL should have started a long time ago. Still better late than never. I think
Exactly.
that's
The
the
last
phrase.
line is what
It's all that
we are looking
matters.
for. We can't control anything what has happened.
Yeah.
So let's look forward for the bright future, and we definitely have a bright future. You'll see.
Yeah, because even some people will say, "Oh yeah, why can't you just make it like 8 team instead of 5 team and all that stuff?" At least it's happening
It's
right
happening.
now, and
That
then we
will
can
also
add
grow.
teams.
It will grow to bigger teams. After the, you'll see the strength that we have. It
Yeah.
will go. Many people will get a chance.
Oh, she's a
Oh,
strong
that's it.
long one. Just slightly wider. Guys, I
Like,
just want to
why,
ask you this. No, sorry. Continue.
Quick prediction from you guys. Do you think Shafali will score a 50 now?
I think she'll get more than 50. I think she'll end up having like a 65 not out. India are going to canter home. Nick, what do you feel?
I as long as they win, I don't mind the canter. As long as they win, I'm happy. Hopefully not a last over finish because that will make it really nervy. So I think Shefali is key with no Mandhana. She is very key because she can break the game open against any kind of bowling once she's
And do
set.
you have her in your fantasy team?
Exactly. I was about to say.
Obviously, vice captain. Obviously, I told you two teams. That's the way to go.
So be honest with us. Who are your first 3 picks while making the team for today?
First was definitely Dipti Sharma. I think no matter wherever you play, whichever planet, Dipti Sharma has to be in your team and she has to be the captain because she is somebody who does the dirty job with the
Yeah.
bat, with the ball as well. Uh, the second pick for me, honestly, was Nidadar with the kind of potential and the options that she brings to the table for Pakistan. 4 overs of bank and a very good option in the middle overs. And my third pick, to be very honest, was Shefali in the absence of Mandhana. Had Mandhana been there, then she would be the first option. And of course, you also go by the way that they were bowling first. Had they been
Mm.
batting first, then Kaur pips, that in front because also Shefali was a sixth bowling option. She did bowl 1 over, and she's in the past bowl very randomly and gotten wickets as well. So you would not want to miss out on those points.
Yeah, and actually, Avnish, you were mentioning sometime before I was about to say this, the comment of Anirudh. You would have seen the series that has happened recently in Mumbai,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Australia versus India. The crowd was jam
Oh, it
packed.
was brilliant. That was at the Brabant, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even in DY Patil also we had some games.
Yeah.
So especially the second game where it went to super over.
Yeah.
We eventually won it. The crowd was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
The field was mesmerizing, and you would remember the victory lap.
Yeah.
our
Oh,
20
1 second, Vaishali.
This
This is
down
gone
the
miles. Oh, and they've taken it. Oh my God. Have we jinxed it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a catch that is.
Great.
And that's a big blow, guys.
The
Because
way they are
Shefali Verma was
celebrating.
looking set.
Yes.
She raised the question whether she's going to get a 50. I said they're going to canter home. And we just put the mockers because it looked like a sensational shot down the ground. But just to, of course, the fielder who did remarkably well to stay in.
Exactly.
And
Brilliant
also
stuff.
it's great field placement as well because
Yeah.
Shefali does hit very straight,
Yeah.
even if it's long on or long off. So I think that was excellent field placement, but superb catch. I think she was too close to the ropes. And again, is the left arm threat. I think that is going to be India's kryptonite right through the World Cup on slower decks. They don't always enjoy playing left arm spin. Pakistan have two
Men or the
options.
women in that case.
Both. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's something about left arm generally. I think the men struggling against left arm pace, the women struggling against left arm spin. But look, Pakistan had broke through and they needed that breakthrough
Yes.
just to bring back the match into parity. And she was cock a hoop with the catch and well done to get that grab. So Shefali Verma goes for 33. And now I'm guessing it's going to be Harleen Diol or do you
Yeah.
think the captain?
I think it should
Herself.
be Harleen there who should come in.
Okay.
because,
Yeah, I think whoever comes, the key point now is to not let the rate get up ever again about 10.
That is
Uh,
true.
you-
Oh, and we have another man entering the watch along, and he's dressed in blue on a Super Sunday. Paji, how are you? And what's going on? How much have you been paying attention to what's happening right now in Newlands?
I I started watching around the 13th over of the Pakistan innings, and I felt that at max Pakistan might get to 130. But the way Aisha Naseem and Bismam Haroof batted today, it was quite good. I mean, it was classic. One batter was showing a lot of power, the other was showing a lot of finesse and placement. So overall, it was very good batting. But As an Indian fan, you didn't want to see that at that point of time. And now I think at
Bro,
this
like,
point of time,
Misbah gave me Misbah vibes, and literally Naseem gave me Abdul Razak vibes. At 4 down, they suddenly pull it out of the fire and have
Yeah.
something to say.
And
yeah,
just to
yeah,
add,
and what a talent is Aisha Naseem. I mean,
What a man.
just
so,
being
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
just
the
being
thing.
18 and doing what she was doing, it really speaks a lot about her talent. And
Yeah.
at this point of time, I feel that Pakistan are slightly ahead, especially after this wicket, because Shifali was ensuring that India don't really fall behind the rate too much. But now I think with Harmanpreet might just because Harmanpreet also takes her time before gets going. She does take at least 15 balls whenever I've seen her play, to get going. So the next 2-3 overs could be crucial from a required run rate point of view. And India would have to hope that if Harmanpreet's taking her time, then Jamima finds a few boundaries here and there. So yeah, it's going to be key. And again, Jamima is very much like a Bisma Maroof kind of a player who also relies on finding gaps rather than having the raw power which Harmanpreet possesses. So I just feel that maybe India could have thought of sending Richa Ghosh in here to try and just break open the target. Maybe if she comes off, just 2-3 overs, a 20 ball, a 10 ball 20 could have just been enough for India to breathe easy. Uh,
Hmm.
but
You
Indian
believe
teams
that's
not
how
known
you
to
do
try out
that?
a lot of things. The
Yeah,
men's team does really try it out, but
Also,
the women's team really doesn't.
no,
I think it's
absolutely.
just probably a
Especially
couple
that.
of overs earlier. Just
Go on,
had
Nick.
the score been around 80 or 90, I think they would have definitely thought, okay, let's open the game up completely and close it out in that sense. I think it's
Yeah.
probably that from the entry point of view, you'd want her to come in like the 13th, 14th over maybe, and not just the 10th. I think this is probably the ideal entry point for something like a core. To this situation still gives her the time to take those 5-10 balls that she can. Inke baad,
Yeah.
yes.
it'll not be possible.
Yeah, because Richa has the ability to hit from the first ball, as Gurpreet just rightly said, that Harmanpreet needs some time to settle down and then hit down the ball. So I feel it's a good time because she can take her time and then she can actually build the innings. And if she's getting more opportunity and getting more balls, I feel it's a good chance that she can actually stay till the end and get this over the line.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. Shubh Agarwal in the comments. I don't know who this guy is, but he must be a guy of sorts. He's joking, Shubhi. He's, of course, one of our writers. Check him out. Haleen Dior dropped a similar catch. Sidami has taken a brilliant one despite being a lot shorter. And then that drop catch by Radha, feeling a difference so far between the sides. Shubh's penning down some notes. He's watching the SA20 final as well, I think, which is already completed. Victoria Capitals lost. Tried to rub it in his face, but just Shubh things over there. Guys, I mean, I want to ask you something right now. We've seen what 30 overs out of this 40-over game, and 21 or 22 overs bowled by spin. Is that going to be, something playing in the Indian batters right now? Or no? Can they target any particular bowler? Because Nidada is good. The other kind of canny bowlers. What do you feel, Rashad?
I think Harmanpreet would have promoted herself considering the spin option as well because he sweeps well. It is one of her favorite shot. So if they can counter the spin, like the way I think she did on for the first ball itself, she was sweeping it. So there is no particular bowler as such. Like it's on the day, it depends who is bowling well. But I feel the way we are going right now, if we can, take 6 or 7 runs per over, we won't come in a situation wherein we need to literally find a ball.
Oh, she stumped. That's brilliant from Nashra, and she's got 2 in the over. And she's got Jemima as well, who doesn't look confident, even though they've gone upstairs to just check this one. I think India have lost their 3rd wicket, guys. And that's a really bad sign. Vikram Mohanty going to say last 5 overs went for 47 runs, and that's not good for India. What else was not good for India? Because Pakistan's got 58 runs in their last 5 overs, which could have been the game changer. And India potentially now find themselves 66 for 3. Gurkirat mentioned the point of sending Richa Ghosh now. But would you take even a punt and someone like a Pooja Vaslikar Nicks right now? I know Richa is a good option, but Pooja as well, she can tonk the ball, right? Or you wouldn't risk her.
If you take Pooja here, then Harleen might not be able to do the job.
The job later.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Nicks, what do you feel?
Yeah, I think that the issue that you have with the kind of players you have now is Harlin wants to take her time to start. I think
Oh!
pace,
Gee!
I think.
Brilliant by literally her
Yes.
toenails.
Oh wow.
Boy, barest of
Brilliant.
margins.
That
I'm
Ajay.
sorry, Jemima, I wrote you off. It's still 66 for 2. I think all
Yeah,
the yoga that she
My
does near
prediction.
Bandra in the morning helps for sure.
yeah,
Sorry, that's not go on.
yeah.
What do you say?
My prediction will gonna get
Oh,
true
yeah, for sure.
today.
For sure. Okay, one
I
second.
think. Yeah.
All you guys right now, how much would you guys take in the last 5 overs? Would you take 40 to win in the last 5, or is that still Pakistan advantage?
I think I will be okay with 30-35.
30 35. Good,
Yeah.
Kirat? You're on mute, my friend.
Yeah.
At max 45, but not more than that.
Okay. And next, you?
Yeah, 35 to 40. You don't want more than that. It also depends on the number of wickets you've lost, but
Huh.
do not let it drift too
Say
much.
it's say 41 and we have 5 wickets in hand and we have Pooja and Richa out there, you still have confidence, right? For
Yes,
them to get
yes.
over the line.
Definitely,
Yeah, of
definitely.
course you should. But the thing is, that's what I said. When you have Kaur and Harleen, they're both somebody who take their time. Which is why now if you see a middle order of Jemima, Harleen, and Harmanpreet, they're all somebody who takes their time to get into a kind of rhythm of sorts in finding the fence. So in a chase of 150, it may not always cost you, but it also depends on the surface. So I think that's where pacing the knock will be very critical for all of them combined. And then if they get stuck, that's what something we read in the comments as well. You don't want those dot balls to come in. You want, if you're not get the boundaries, just get the singles and doubles rotating, because we've often gotten stuck in the past in it's either too many dots or too many boundaries all of a sudden. So
Hmm.
you would not want it to let drift. Just catch up with the rate at every point of time, so that whoever comes in finds it easier and not harder.
Okay. Gurkina, let me ask you this. In terms of Harmanpreet Kaur being there, if she is there till the 1920th over, is it safe to say that India will definitely be there and thereabouts to win this game, or do you think other wickets hold the key?
Ideally, you'd suppose and believe that if Kaur's batting till the end of 19th over, the game should be done and dusted. But yeah, I think what one thing that Pakistan are also doing well is that they're not giving a lot of pace to Indian batters to work with, which is slightly making shot making difficult.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if that is the case and the pitch
Power.
is also on the slower side, then someone like Herman becomes even more important because of just the raw power she possesses. And obviously, Richa being the other batter who becomes important in this case. Shot,
And with that, it's a
shot.
short and boundary for Women. You are seeing that she takes time to settle down, but not this time. Not this time, guys. I hope this
Of
is
course,
how
she is
she will.
experienced enough to take. She is experienced enough to take that call, because you have Jemima who can play the kind of role that she's supposed to, like hold and end up. Now, Kaur can't do the same as well. So, of course, and
Also, this
she's
ball was there to be there
yeah,
to be hit. So
yeah, asking to hit and then
Currently,
dealt
we
with.
need somewhere around 8.5 in our over. So I
Yeah,
feel, yeah, this is the time, as Nix, you were rightly mentioned, that if Jamima is someone who's going to rotate the strike, Harmanpreet has to go big. No other choice.
yeah. I'll also be
Apologies, I
interesting that.
had to wait to collect my Swiggy parcel. I don't know what you guys ordered for dinner on Sunday. Oh, what would you like to eat? Okay, she'll
Obviously.
decide. She'll decide. All she wants is an India win.
Yeah.
Gurkirat's a big foodie. I don't know if you guys know, but like he, of course, there was a lot of things to eat in Amritsar, which is good to see. From my lens says hi, Vaishali. I'm sure you
Hi.
know from my lens.
From
On
my lens. I don't know.
Shivam Gatia going to say hello. Don't you think India make a mistake by not playing Sneerana instead? They choose almost two type of bowlers like Radha and Gaikwad.
I've always said that.
Why is Neerana not playing? Ever since I've seen her wear that women's t-shirt, I mean, it's insane.
You have to have that curious case of one player in every team that India has. So Sneha is that person in women's team, and not in the playing 11. She can't come. She's not even in the main squad. She's in the reserve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been a fan of Sneha. Whenever India needed her, be it with the ball, be it the bat, she was there. The way she made the comeback. So that's a question.
Yeah.
But then I don't have any answers to it. In my spot, she will definitely be there always. Very handy bowler. You can say that she has a golden arm and very handy batter as well.
That is
So
true. That
But
is
I
true.
think Gaikwad, why she's there, I can just maybe answer that because she has that left arm thing, and then
But
maybe
aren't they like for like Radha Yadav and Gaikwad?
Radha Yadav brings more dimension in terms of her fielding
Yeah.
and her batting as well. So yeah, that's the reason. But yes, Sneha Rana in my team will always be there.
Okay, fine. This is going to be a crucial four. And
Yeah.
Fatima's over is not a productive one for Pakistan because that's yielded 11 runs. And it could be a really decisive over in the scheme of things. Sorry, Gurkirat, you were saying something?
No, I wasn't. I was just, clapping for the boundary
Okay.
that's been hit, and
So
Um,
the
I've
rare
just
moment,
decided that
the rare moment that Gurkirat says, "I wasn't
It's a
saying
rare
something."
moment. Shaunak, you got to clip it. Like, you got to clip it.
Maybe he was thinking about dinner.
Yeah, he was thinking about dinner. What's for dinner in the Gurkirat household?
yeah, today I'm going for something light. I'll probably be having khichdi or some rice with maybe yellow dal.
Maybe a sweet dish later when India wins.
Yeah, maybe a sweetest later for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
maybe
just
I can go for a sweet dish, but what I've realized is that this being a foodie sometimes isn't really good for your body. It can my throat's suffering on that regard. I've been having too much of spicy food of late.
That's
So
fine, bro. What is life without spice? Gurkirat, you told me this in Charming Chicken, bro, in Amritsar. All these
yeah, but
golden
at
words.
that point of time, I wasn't having a running fever, so I have to be considerate on this front today. But yeah,
No, jokes apart, though.
you should remember what you should remember
Comment.
anything you should remember anything and everything that I told you or taught you in Amritsar. Those 2 days you should remember fondly, and whenever you are in doubt or in some kind of confusion, you should just think about whatever I have told you.
That's a sweet shot
That's a
from
sweet shot.
Harman.
Yeah, she's a big Swatch Bharat Abhiyan
Yes.
fan. I mean,
Yes.
like, loves it.
Yeah.
By the way, lots of love in the comments below. There was one, I think, across the border from Pakistan. I might be wrong on this. Shona, can you just reflect that comment which said India will win in their dreams?
Yes.
Sayadan Sakleen going on to say that. I'm guessing Sayadan is from across the border. She might be from India, but might not like the country. But do you think they'll win that dream? I don't think Pakistan's going to run away with this. I think it's definitely going to be a tight game. And
Oh,
again,
yeah.
she's gone through the onside and she'll
I
get
think
a
so.
single.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, she's done that.
that's
Woo! Oh, that's good running, girls. That's great running, girls. That's what we want to see. That's
So
what we
just to
want to
give
see.
Sometimes when I see Harmanpreet Kaur bat, I am reminded of Ross Taylor's earlier years. From
Yeah,
2006, 7 to
I believe the
2011, 12,
Jemma's called that.
where
He just
regardless
yeah.
of where the ball was being bowled, he wanted to go leg side. And so many times I get that impression with Harmanpreet Kaur as well. The ball
you're
could
so
be
right.
pitched.
You're so right. Because Ross Taylor, remember, played for RCB. And you remember that Champions League game against Delhi Capitals where he just like went
Why do you have to
offside,
link everything with RCB?
RCB.
going
That
boom,
fast.
boom, boom. It was too good. It was too good. I
No,
mean, he brought up
because
Charlie. You can't blame me.
because if sometimes you get the impression that the line of the ball could be on the wide line, on the offside wide line, and
That
she
is
could
true.
still sweep it towards cow corner or mid wicket depending upon what the length is. So sometimes I feel that also stops her development of the offside game, and sometimes she tends to lose out on a lot of runs that way. But it's been a method that has been quite successful for her also. So can't
Yeah.
really criticize that, but I just feel get that impression from her so many times that just
Hmm.
she wants to whack everything towards leg side.
Yeah. Gary V, hello. Nice to see you as well. A quick one to Nix and Vishal. You're putting them on the spot right now. And then we'll take from my lenses comment. Who's a better player in terms of spin bowling and who's a better sweeper of the ball? Is it Harmanpreet Kaur or Virat Kohli?
I'm fortunate that both of them play for India. So
Virat
I
Kohli
think,
doesn't sweep.
I know it was a little googly. I was throwing them by. You've
But
already answered it.
but then Virat doesn't speak.
Yeah.
But obviously, you would have seen some kind of videos from the net practice. They have been practicing reverse sweep as well as sweep. But yeah,
Yeah.
currently you can say Harmanpreet because Virat is not sweeping yet. When he starts sweeping, we'll see who is playing better.
But next, it gives me an impression that this Indian women's team, they have like all the really technical, gifted batters who are kind of orthodox. Are there any of these batters are pretty funky in their shot selection? I know Shifali plays some crazy, no, I mean crazy shots, but any funky batters in this Indian women's cricket team?
I mean, I definitely miss Navgire when she played. I think she's
Yeah.
somebody, she's someone I think I want to see a lot more of. But I think that's what the system brings, right? Oh, uh, yeah, that's a great four. I
So she's
hope
got
this
the
is,
boundary. She's got the
Yes,
boundary we all wanted.
Jemima has hit
That's a
yeah,
great
for
start.
4, and just
yeah.
to update you guys with the score line, now we need 57 of now we need 57 of 46 more
Yeah.
after this boundary.
That is
Yeah.
No, 61 or 47.
61,
61
61
of
and
47.
47.
So it was 65-8, and this is our first ball of the
Wow.
over. Are you guys surprised by Niladhar being whatever? I mean, none for 20 and 2.1 from the most experienced player.
I'm not.
You know,
I'm not.
Knicks has her in a team and all that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I
She
think
comes
that's.
out.
Shot,
And this is
shot.
your
Oh,
pick. Oh, but
Oh,
she'll
but
find the
then-
fielder. She will find the fielder. Can you guys
yeah.
give us your view? How's it going to be after 5 overs? So I'm guessing he's asking the 17th over mark. What's going to happen? What's your prediction?
What do I say? I think there will be 30 odd runs left.
In the last 3 overs?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's a gripping finish. Next, Gurkirat, where are we seeing this game head?
Hopefully 20 left. I mean, you can get 40 of the next 30. Even that what leaves you with 16, 20 of 16, which is I think fair call to make. I think
Okay.
to answer your question about the kind of players, I think India's system generally gives you such kind of players predominantly, which is why someone like a Shefali is a breath of fresh air. You want to see Richa Ghosh more because she's someone who's always looking to hit big. So there are enough options. You have Meghna who's not playing now, but you know how she can also tong the ball whenever she wants to. So that change is coming, but it's also
Deepti
very
has
same
also
way to. Sorry.
Deepti has also worked on her batting.
Yeah.
Earlier I used to get the impression that she would really struggle to find the boundary, but I think she's worked on some of the shots and power game, and she's really improved on that front.
Oh,
Oh my
sorry,
god,
sir.
sorry. I'm just elated right now. It's completely different chat from the cricket watch along we're doing because United have gone 1-0 up against Leeds, baby. Get in there. And of course, lots of my family and friends watching. So big shout out to all you guys. Aunties, uncles, of course, maybe the rest as well. From my lens saying thanks for this watch along. We'll be doing more of these watch alongs, and you can see Gurkirat, of course, and Nix, who is always going to be part of our content. So watch out for them and follow Vaishali as well. And this game is going down to the wire, 59 to 43. Let us know your predictions and stand a chance to win a cricket.com goodie bag as well. Rohan Patel going to say, what do you think of the SA20? Is it the best league after the IPL? Well, Shubh Agarwal was just telling me that he thinks so. But we won't go into the SA20 because we'll probably talk about women's cricket right now because that's the focus. But you can get in touch with Shubh Agarwal on Twitter and probably have this question thrown in there. I mean, it's all more fun with that regard. So 7 overs left, 58. I mean, India started off this over with the boundary and they just got 4 singles, but it's all right. No time to panic. Do you think if another 2 overs, a wicket doesn't fall, they will probably demote a Harleen and then send Richa and Pooja?
I believe they should.
They should, right?
Yeah, because Harleen can, if you have 7 in over also,
Yeah.
Harleen can easily chase this down. But if Richa or Pooja comes in and they hit like 2-3 sixes or 2-3 boundaries, we'll be in much better and much comfortable position than otherwise.
Yeah. Is Harleen in the same sort of mold like a Jemima?
She has improved her batting recently. If you have seen the domestic season that she has had, I think I remember one of the innings where she was at like 51 of 40 balls,
Wow.
and that helped her team to win. So she has recently worked on her batting a lot. But yeah, you can see they are similar kind of player, but Harleen is improving her striking a lot.
Yep. I mean, Harleen, of course, he's one of those nudgers and nerdlers and not the power game, but we have Richa and Pooja for that. Another stumping appeal, right? And don't
But
think it's going to be
she was well inside the
well
crease.
inside. Well
Not sure.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
किसी को आवाज नहीं आई. So
No, no. You can't. You can't.
okay, but they've
Oh,
gone for the
the
review, which is strange.
Strange indeed.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Sorry?
day, by the way, in Cape Town, Newlands. I mean, it's one of those iconic venues anyway. And I saw Gurkirat's tweet earlier. It said the comms who come through from England or India or generally everywhere in the world, they talk about India and the venues with such fondness. But Delhi's Pirosha Kokla, my friend, are you going for the test match, Raji? Get me some tickets, man.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going. I I I I I, I I wasn't keen anyway, but I was thinking because a lot of people, a lot of social media mutuals were going, so I thought it could be a good chance
How
to.
far is the Pirosha Kotla from your house, if I may ask? Like, what is it, 30-minute
It's a
distance,
one.
45?
It, it's a 1 hour drive. It's in the city center, so
Exactly. We do
it's
continue,
a
but
1 hour
that's the
drive.
difference.
Yeah,
They
that's
say
one of the
that.
worst reviews I've seen in my life.
But yeah,
What did they appeal for?
if Pakistan is playing, you have to have this kind of situation there once at least, right? In every game.
Oh my god, that's quite ridiculous.
They
But
are actually you have a thought behind it.
Yeah,
Not sure why.
not copy and not start. Yeah,
the
sorry,
the
good.
best part, Avnish, the best part about going to Firosha Kotla is that after watching the game, you can go to Old Delhi and eat all the food that is there in Chandni Chowk and around Jama Masjid. So it's a great place if you're a foodie. But I'm anyway not in Delhi because I have to travel for work. So I'll be missing this test match. But I'll have a regret of not going to this test match if Virat Kohli scores a century. Otherwise,
Um,
I am never keen on going to Firosha Kotla. Yeah, it's a stadium it's a venue that I hope that it should never get India matches for sure.
Next, I mean, does Virat have a good record in Firosha Kotla? I know he's got a one. He's got like a
He has a
99.
double century. He has a double century, 243 not out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
oh
a
correct. Oh,
massive
one
wicket.
second, one second, one second.
Harmanpreet has.
India have lost their captain, Vaishali.
Left arm
What's up?
spin.
And it's again left arm spin.
She was trying to
But
speak it, but
again,
then
if you see this dismissal,
Disease.
if you see this
It's a disease.
dismissal and where this ball was gold, she could have easily gone over covers. And it's not that she doesn't has that shot. It's just the tendency to drag and hack everything towards the leg side that has brought about upon the
yeah.
downfall here for Harmanpreet. You
No,
just
I
see
think that's
where
a very valid point.
where she's met the ball. What was the line?
Yeah, that's true. So it is, of course, what Vaishali mentioned, the fact that Richa Ghosh now is going to be coming out and slightly a promotion for her, and understandably so, because India are still requiring over 9 runs per over to get across the line, and now it gets really nervy. Not just because it's an India-Pakistan contest, but because it's a World Cup clash, and we're getting into the climax of the game. Let's see how it all unfolds. By the way, all you 34 wonderful people watching, maybe more on Facebook and Twitter, subscribe and tell a friend about cricket.com because we're here to do lots of things in the following weeks and the months and of course in the years to come. Padma Arora going to say, hello Vaishali, good to see you here. And what's the match of seeing your crazy love for the game?
Thank you so much for this comment.
You have a lot of fans.
They
It's
are.
insane. I mean, it's good to have you. Like I've poached you off Twitter, and it's always great. But like how we poached Nikhil, Gurkirat, Vaishali, we're literally doing that. I'm the only idiot on this panel who has no particular following, but I bring the energy, guys. It's all that matters. It's the energy and
So
the
how many
aesthetics.
six Richa's gonna hit?
Okay, how many sixes Richa's going to hit? That's a
Yeah.
good question. But actually, let's do a first ball prediction. What do you think she's going to do? Defend or single or four? Quickly.
Let me just see.
I can't see it. Oh, she'll get one.
One,
She's
yeah.
off the mark. So 56 and 38. Damn, if there was anyone who I wanted to lose their wicket right now, it's Jemima and not Harmanpreet. I mean that in the nicest sense because I think Harmanpreet.
But you remember my prediction,
Yeah,
right? That
correct.
we're gonna have to
If
get through today.
if Jemima is knocked out and India win, I'll buy you dinner. You guys have heard it here on the cricket.com watch along. So indeed, oh, she's pushing that away for just a single. So now I'm just kind of getting little jitters because I'm an Indian fan, an Indian cricket person generally. Are we what 60-40 ahead? Noses in front?
Yeah,
You
we can
think
say
so?
that 60-40 with Harmanpreet going
Yeah.
because she brings that experience.
Mm-hmm.
If she is there, you can be rest assured that the game will go in our favor.
True.
But I don't want to lose any more wickets from her, to be honest. Let this partnership.
Oh my god, little dodgy running. But one second, I just saw that little graphic that they put up, right? Next, in terms of the batters to follow, Halim we just spoke about. Then there's Pooja Vastrikar. Then there's, of course, Deepti that Gurkira mentioned who's up her batting game. And not to forget Radha Yadav who can also kind of contribute a little bit here and there. So that gives
Pooja Vastrikar is also capable of big hits, and she's also
correct.
someone who has a lot of power. I believe.
Yeah, and what Gurpreet say, I would just like to mention, since she's from MP and I follow some of the cricket, she has actually hit 200 or some runs in some of the games. So that power she is. Unfortunately, she was out due to the injury.
That's
Hopefully
insane.
today is the game. And if you remember the last World Cup that we have, ODI World Cup, we were some like 5 down, and it's Pooja's partnership and Pooja's batting there against Pakistan itself. Which led us into the good position, and then we won that game.
Yeah.
So definitely, but I want to see Richa hitting some shots. That equation should go down a ball or something, and then I'll be fine.
No, absolutely. I think that India Australia series gave us a little glimpse of what Richa Ghosh can do with the bat in hand, because she honestly is one of those cricketers who can really tonk the ball, and we need that right now. Vikramonti going to say, I know you guys praise Harmanpreet's batting a lot, but I don't see consistency in her batting. What's your take on that, Gurkirat? Because she's played some gems for India. And thanks, Anirudh. You made me smile more, my friend Statsman. Honestly, big up to you, bro. Big up to you. 2-0. Get in there. Rukia, sorry, come back to you. Harmanpreet's batting, you mentioned it. The fact that you'd like her to play a little bit more offside than the onside that she has. But consistency wise, now that she's leading and the captain role and all that stuff, do you expect a little bit more maturity from her, or is that harsh?
That's
See,
nice.
I,
Let's see.
I wouldn't say that her dismissal was down to immaturity. Like India
Yeah.
needed a boundary to stay within the rate, and again, it's something. If we actually looked at the fields as well, right? Pakistan, when that left arm spinner was bowling, I'm sorry, I don't know the name. I missed that name, and
Nashla,
I'm
Nashla.
not.
Nashla Sandhu.
Yeah, when Sandhu was bowling, uh, all the fielders on the in the circle on the offside were inside the circle. It's not the first time that I've seen this happen.
Short! Sorry, good catch. Short,
That's
man.
a
That was
short
brilliant.
before. Yeah.
That was improvisation. Go on, go on.
Hello,
Oh,
भैया घंटी मार दो
They
घंटी मार
have to try to step out
hello,
of
I
the
think
bhai.
I think pace is the
He's-
way for India. Even in the last over, you saw Herman actually going after pace. So I think the moment Pakistan switched from spin to pace, they're happy to take that extra risk versus them, because spin, as Gurukit first mentioned, they're not giving them enough pace to work with. So I think they will definitely look to hit paces more than spin.
Yeah, it's a fair prediction. 101 for 3, 49 required. India's 100 is, of course, brought up with that cheeky shot from Jemima, who
This could
is
have been
happy
a
about it.
while.
Yeah, it could have been a while. Jemima should try to step out instead of sweeping against the waist spins as Shah.
And this is also good captaincy, because as soon as Harmanpreet's been dismissed, they've brought the pacer back because they know Harmanpreet has the power, and she can really take on pace bowling like how she did in the previous over of Fatima when she found those two boundaries. This is also some bit of good captaincy over here.
But is that also because that Fatima needs to complete her quota of overs? Because Pakistan, I think, are bowling with 5 bowlers, 6 bowlers to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Quota is definitely, it has she has to bowl out her overs, but it's also the timings that when the captain throws you the ball. So
Yeah.
I'm talking from that point of view.
Fair enough, fair enough. And
Yeah.
we saw with the Indian innings as well, where the slow over it did cost them in the last couple of overs. Hopefully, that happens to Pakistan as well. I mean, not
But
hopefully,
they are on
but
target
they're on
as far
target.
as, far as now is concerned. They are on target. It was just shown now. Uh, but I think they are having more spinner option, and they would be able to complete their quota on time. So
Hmm.
we might not get the advantage that we gave to Pakistan. But let's see. Since Pacer has come, I think Richa is also a good hitter of the pace bowling as well. So if you can capitalize in the next over, so maybe say a six or something.
Oh, top edge. It was a full toss and a B.
Safe.
Yeah. No man's land. No
Yes.
woman's land.
Yeah.
No fielders line.
No fielders land. There's also another Asian clash in terms of Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka after this. We're not going to be doing watch along for that, even though we love those two teams respectively. I think our mental bandwidth won't be there on Sunday. But just quickly, guys, are you happy with the way things are panning out right now? 5 overs, about 46, 47 required. That's fine, right?
Would have probably liked 7 to 10 runs more at this stage,
Okay.
because 47 in last five. It's not going to be easy. Uh, India would need some chances that their batters take, that they come off, and I suppose Richa's going to maybe take that chance in this over or the next over.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
But who should
Jemima,
they target? Is there any obvious weakness in the Pakistan lineup right now
We
in
see a
terms of
six in this over.
Sadia? Sadia is going well. Oh,
This should be wide.
I think Ayman has 2 overs left, and I think she should bowl two.
who's
But I
it?
think this is Ayman Anwar has two. I think Richa will hit a couple of sixes this over. At least she'll
This
try.
over should be
Now let's see if she
You
gets
guys
those
are
two
saying
balls
it
in.
with such confidence. Be like, yeah, she'll hit. Kar legi, kar legi. I manage kar legi.
I mean, there's no option.
From my
Okay,
lens,
there.
guys. Oh, is it one of the sixties?
It's a
She's got a boundary.
four.
A much needed boundary.
Yes.
And the applause has always made it energetic. From my lens, going to say, if you guys had to pick a playing 11, let us know what would make that list. Who would make that list in terms? I'm guessing an all-star women's 11 right now. We'll probably do that exercise at some point in time.
Yeah.
We'll throw you a couple of names. It'll probably be Australian dominated, as Mix
Yeah.
and Vishal were praising earlier on in the show, but there have been some other candidates for sure. Sri Lanka got over the line against the host by 3 runs the other day. So Atapatu is a name who, of course, is one to reckon with. Gary saying Jemima, let's go. Shichan saying Jemima took. I think I read that earlier, which is unfair because Jemima might get over the line. And if Jemima does win the game for us, it'll be great for her. And plus, ooh, no women's left. And plus, I'll have to buy you that. So it's a win-win. It's honestly a win-win. Do they come back for 2?
No,
Or is it-
Yeah.
I think it will be just one.
Oh, no, they come back.
came back.
The running is good.
I think with Zemima being there, she's someone who would like to rotate the strike well,
Hmm.
run hard between the wickets. So hopefully yes.
Yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. By the way, tomorrow is a very important day for women's cricket in
Yes.
general. The women's IPL, I need to keep saying it like a broken tape recorder because it is historic. We're going to be covering it on cricket.com. We'll give you all the updates, who goes where. Hopefully, RCB have a good option. I will say that because it's not like I'm the brand ambassador, I'm just a big fan, guys. So all the more merrier to kind of watch it with that energy. Coming back to this game, though, 41 of 26, and this is where the nerves start to creep in, lady and gents. You guys said
This is now about India need to find, if they don't get a boundary this over, if they ideally get a boundary on this in the next 2 balls, then they need to find a boundary every over because this is now a
Yeah.
equation of 5 boundaries, 5
Yeah.
fours.
oh
rather.
my god. Oh my god. Bro, if they just get a single in this ball, it's just 10 in the last 4 overs. Oh
I
my
think
God.
it will be a 6. Let's see. It will be a boundary definitely.
It will
for
be a
sure.
boundary. You guys are backing boundaries like it's ridiculous. It's like book cricket. Okay, but let's see if you guys are true because it's gonna last.
Oh, that's
Oh, she's got a wicket here. She's got a wicket here. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, an elation. Absolute elation from Pakistan. Dejection from India. And Richa Ghosh has gone up straight away. She reckons she's got a little feather,
Yeah.
guys. Next, what's your gut feel?
If she's hit it, then it's not out. But if not, it looked plumb. So yeah.
Obviously. That's how it goes. If my friends are watching this, I can't pick up because literally I'm in a watch along. I don't know if these guys have been following me on social media. It's a joke. Okay, one second. What do you feel? India have reviewed this. It looked plumb.
This is review more out of hope rather than anything else. I don't think she got her bat on that.
You think so? What? Sorry, Gurkiat?
I think this is a review more out of hope than anything else because I don't think she got her bat on that. Had she,
Oh, she is a
She had the glove. She had the glove.
Gurkiat is wrong for the first time in his life. Gurkiat is wrong for the first time in his life.
Yeah, because like she was very evidently sharing that bat lagi is what.
No, I missed that part. I thought I missed that part. I thought that she took her time, and usually when batters take their time, it's an indication that they haven't got a bat on it.
Yeah.
I think she took it immediately. It was shown late.
Yeah, I like the childlike sort of reactions of the Pakistan team where they were looking at that being rock and roll, so to speak, and then they were like, please, 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 please. And then she was like, oh my god, okay, let's go back to our fielding positions right now. So that's just the game. Rishikesh Kartkar looks like a worried man, as if he's not got a paycheck in like 10 years or something. But Greg K going to say glove. And love to you, Greg. Not glove, just love. Why only sweep shots? Cannot understand this batting. I think they all like the onside. They all like the cow corner. Oh my god, it's like for like 109 for 4, 109 for 3.
Yeah, it's going to come down to that catching and the Naseem finish.
Richa Ghosh doing Aisha Naseem.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Once again, can I mention the 2 dreaded words, guys? Super over.
No,
No.
please no.
No,
No, please no.
Not on a Sunday.
No. No, we wouldn't mind that.
You know,
Wouldn't mind.
it would be interesting to see how many dot balls have both teams played.
Oh yeah, we can
Because
actually go.
I felt often in this chase that India.
Oh, one sec,
That
she's
was
converted that into full, and it's
no.
missing it.
Ah, chalo, two
Evening, okay.
sixes or wicket. That's the over.
Options at the moment. We'll do that, Greg. We'll wait for the game to unfold, and then we'll take quick fire questions from you guys with Vaishali here in terms of who to watch out and all of that stuff. Guys, again, India playing 1, 4, and 3 dot balls and not going to cut it. We need to take risks.
Yeah.
Anirudh, oh, she's got that
That's
over
so good.
point. Oh, sorry, over short, third man.
Because
And
because
does
India have so far hit more boundaries than what Pakistan have. Pakistan scored 11 boundaries. India have scored 14 boundaries, I think, by now. Yeah. If we count this boundary, it's 14 boundaries. But I feel India have played more dot balls because so many times they've not been able to capitalize on a boundary early on in the over.
Yeah.
They've got a boundary but then played 2 or 3 dot balls.
So it's almost like West
Oh,
Indian cricket.
please.
Oh, it's
I
in
hope
the
that's
air,
all
and
no,
it
it's
evades her, and she'll come back for 2.
Yeah. But at least Richa is showing the intent, which is what needed as of now.
100%.
And
And plus 7 runs in the first 3 balls gives
yes,
you a lot of
confidence.
yeah,
And
lots of confidence.
if we get one or more boundaries, it will be a big over, and that's what we need as of now.
Yeah.
But lucky that it was away from the fielder.
And they say fortune favors the brave, for sure.
Richa is definitely
Rajeshni
the
Gaikwad
best
is like,
also.
what's happening? Oh, it's a good ball from Nidadar, but again, a little bit of fortunateness from Richa right now. So what is it? 33 of 20 with the last 2 balls of this over. I think it's
We need a
India's
boundary.
complete guys. They can't really cock it up from here. I hope not, at least.
Yeah, we'll win this game, don't worry.
Fingers crossed.
Confidence.
Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
we just
But
need a
I
boundary
think
here.
yeah, we need a boundary. We definitely need a boundary.
She
Oh.
swung it, and
Nice.
she found the gap. She
Oh.
nearly has. She's got 4. She's got 4.
That's the piece of fielding from
Yeah.
Pakistan which we need.
The fielding was as woeful as a piece of cameraman work over there
Yes.
because, like, they've gone back to literally
He was showing you whether they're running through or not.
nothing to it.
They're just helping India how India helped them. So there's good neighbors.
Oh.
Like a recreation of Saeed Ajmal and
Now one sec, Vaishali, I've seen the gateway of India, but that's the gateway of Pakistan. That is right through her legs. And Nida Dar is like, kya ho raha hai, yaar? Dude, fielding, I mean, I know we dropped catches. Pakistan have been pretty poor the fielders themselves. Oh, full toss straight down the ground. It's just India. So
That's
great
a
over.
good over.
13 off it.
That's right.
13 off it. 3 overs. So you were pretty spot on. You
Yeah,
said
Vaishali, yeah.
it would be around 20 to
30
30 to win. So
Yeah.
good to know that. Keep your comments coming through. We're here for another little bit, 20 minutes more or so. Our stats man has been very kind and let us know about the dot balls, Gurkirat. Pakistan batters played 35 dots in total in their innings as compared to 33 by India so far. So, yeah, you're right again, my friend, that they've just consumed dot balls, but they've not kind of strike rated as much as possible. What do you guys feel? Who's going to be bowling these overs for Pakistan right now? Will they front load next? Their best bowler
Yeah,
right
Anwar,
now?
I think I said Anwar should definitely bowl 2. Ayman's come back. I think they will look to get 10 of each of our 2 overs, hopefully.
If Richa
And
gets
then-
the strike in this over, one is definitely going over the ropes.
Okay, fine. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to. I mean,
There's quite a few things that she's predicted, right? I don't know why we should call her as an anchor. Maybe she can like be just a fortune teller in the years to come because she said Jemima's going to get runs. He said
Nidada was complaining about the fielding. Oh, but they didn't take. Oh no, they took single, but they didn't run for second one.
17 balls,
I think
27.
Richa is bigging herself for this one. It will go big.
Okay.
It will go big, I guess.
How do you think Bismar's captain? All right.
Yeah, be okay.
As in, like, was she? I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to question tactics, like we were questioning Harmanpreet and stuff like that. But have Pakistan just like when India were what? Where did they lose their third wicket? Like, I think around 95 or 100.
93.
93. Do you think they could have executed?
It's a it could have
Shot!
Oh,
Dude, Richa Ghosh, dude. This is the name to remember.
Yep.
Indeed. How much is she on right now already?
Richa is on 20 from 14.
Okay.
Mhm, close to 2%.
Yeah, we just
Definitely.
got one of them. We
Yes.
just got one of
Richa,
them.
one will go over the roads. This over, definitely.
It's
Getting heat.
Even if it's
getting
along the ground, I don't mind another boundary.
Yeah.
1 second, guys. So if it does go into a Super Bowl, may I say,
No,
who
no.
will come out the bat for India in a Super Bowl? Is it Richa Ghosh and
Richa.
Shafali?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then how about
Those
Preeti?
two have to be the openers.
She's done it
Shaw.
again! And she's done it again!
again!
An action replay. And this is the over, really, like Vaishali and Nick were mentioning, that they've targeted. And
Yeah.
India surely now going to be in the driver's seat to win this game, guys.
Yes. India need 19 runs for 15 balls for all you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are on the edge of our seats. But this over has actually
Edge of the seats.
released.
Edge of
Very
the
good.
seats.
I have something interesting over here for the
Go on.
viewers. I was just checking out, the win percentage probability. Not that has obviously gone up, but
In which app, by the way? Which app are you checking this out on?
I am obviously checking it on the cricket.com app. But
Sorry,
What
which app?
cricket.com app app. I mean,
You're my man, bro. You're my man. Sorry, go on.
so I was just checking the impact scores, and as per our app and the models, the impact
This is for this
Sorry,
over.
man. Sorry, Nikita. Go on. Go on.
the impact that Richa Ghosh has had so far is more
Oh.
than the impact that Jemima has so far. Jemima has an impact
Yeah.
of plus 3.79, while Richa's impact now has gone up to 6.74. It was actually 4.88 or something before this
Is
boundary.
that more than the scenes, Gurkirat? Or is Disha the best?
I don't know, but it only shows the live impact.
Uh,
I don't
But I
know.
think you
I don't.
can't. Yeah, I think we can't discount Jemima though. I mean, it's it's her
Yeah.
presence that's allowing her to
Yeah,
play those shots.
yeah.
So
I'm not
yeah,
discounting it. I'm just saying that
Bisma
how
Maroof,
valuable this
you could
cameo has
say,
been.
from
yeah,
Pakistan side, what Bisma Maroof did for
yeah,
Pakistan, Nima is doing exactly the same for India.
yeah, yeah.
Rare dot ball in this over,
Rate
guys.
of all. So once when we look back in about 2 hours time,
Yeah.
is this the over which has decided the game?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
You think
Yes.
so?
And I think there will be one more boundary will come in this over, so
Mhm.
that will ease the pressure again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I
So
mean,
highest strike rate.
That
We are
high
just
test that just tells you second best in this cycle, which is great to see.
it's great to see. And look at the other names on that list. It's all like
Yeah,
Australian pedigree. And then you have your little Richa Ghosh floating about and doing Richa Ghosh things, which she's been doing fantastic. So, look, 15 of this over, and we got 13 of the
yeah.
previous one, which basically means that India wrapped up the game pretty much.
in this over.
Hopefully, that they don't jinx it. Vikram Mohanty saying needed this badly. Yeah, it bodes well for the rest of the tournament. It bodes well, of course, because we're playing West Indies, England, and Ireland in the remaining group games. Like Vaishali said, we should make the semis and potentially the final. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. 14 of 12, guys. The man of the match for you. Sorry, the woman of the match.
This
Vaishali?
is why I've now started to use the player of the match
Player of the
terminology.
match.
We should always use that.
Player of the
Player of
match. And batters, right?
Yeah,
Instead of-
that is.
yeah.
I always do that.
So, women, player of the match.
Okay. I think we'll see. How
No, I want you to make a call now. Is it Richa Ghosh? Because she's been the catalyst we've
I
needed.
think Richa Ghosh, I'm not sure if this award is there. It is not there, but she can be the game changer.
Game changer.
And
The
I
Dream
think,
11 game changer.
yes, Jemima is someone who can be one of the potential contender
Mhm.
for this.
I mean, India's
Player of the
best
match.
bowler was maybe Radha
Radha
Yadav.
Yadav.
Radha Yadav. I think
One
Radha
more.
Yadav should get it if not Richa Ghosh, because 4 overs,
Mhm.
21 for 2, good enough spell to get that.
Yes.
So
See,
maybe
if
first preference to
I don't know who will get it, but one thing that I can say is that if a similar game was happening
Oh yeah. Yes, just to the
in
boundary.
India in a bilateral scene with Indian commentators giving out this award, they would have definitely given it to Jemima.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But like
And,
now,
and,
I think
still
and
do.
I don't want to name my favorite commentator who would have done it.
No, but they can still do it, and that's what I'm saying. Don't put them off
Nikhil,
color. They
Nikhil
can
knows
still
who
do it.
I'm talking about.
No, it's not sunny here.
it's,
It's sunny in South Africa. It's not sunny
Yeah,
here
yeah.
in.
guys, it's been thoroughly entertaining. By the way, this watch along, and all you 43 people joining us right now to envisage this India win will be fantastic
And
because
for the first time,
and for the first time as
the
well.
run is lesser than the ball.
Oh, 100% for the first
Yes.
time in history. 9 runs of 10
Oh,
balls.
that's
He
a
pulls it
shot
away.
again. But
Just
yeah,
a
it found the
single.
filter. But yeah, there was a shot.
Richa Ghosh, what a player, saying Chant, for sure. If you like Richa Ghosh, like this particular video, and if you think she's definitely going to be one to watch out, subscribe to our channel. As simple as that. Vikram, what you going to say? No need to break here. Just keep pushing for singles and doubles. Pakistan will crumble. I would say they have 3 balls in this penultimate over. Net run rate, I know, plays a huge part in ICC tournaments. Just finish it.
Yeah, and with Richa is on
I,
spot.
I, I think that's what Richa will try and do over
Yeah,
here.
Yeah. And
Oh,
in
will she now? Will
yeah,
she now?
also
She will come now. She'll keep striking.
no.
yeah,
Oh
I
no,
think the point
sorry.
about going after pace is what is again happened. We discussed about Spain not giving them the pace, and which is why they were always going to attack pace. So that's what has happened with both those overs from Anwar and Sana.
Hmm. Fatima's been very expensive though. Like the other Pakistan bowlers, I think Nidadas as well went for a lot of runs. The partnership of 50 is definitely the match-winning partnership here. You had that perfect foil with Jemima, and then of course Richa Ghosh accelerating at the timely period of this match. Richa is the savior of this match. Saying
Shot.
Vikram,
Oh, that's a
No.
good shot.
Gone
on
for boundary again, guys. And I think she's
over
made
the
her
man
50.
for ball.
I think she's gonna complete her 50.
And 1 second, Vaishali's gonna get her dinner
Yay!
because India are winning. And Jemima is, of course, getting not
The
just
big
the
runs.
player of the match, but the big runs as well. The
And
50
cover drive with
and
the
the
four
cover drive
balls.
with the fourth ball. So she's predicted everything. Well done, Vaishali. I
And
hope you enjoyed your debut in
yes,
cricket.com.
yes.
Watch along.
I truly enjoyed the debut
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking for.
Perfect.
So
And who was the best partner in terms of batting with, talking with? Is it Nick's, me, or Gurpreet?
I think I'm meeting with you guys for the first time. Nikhil, obviously, we have done quite a lot of show already. But yeah, obviously, I've enjoyed with all three of
That's
you.
Oh, India win! India win!
Yes,
And what a way to finish it. Brilliant stuff. Honestly, we can't expect more. And Jemima's done with an over to spare, and that's what we want to see.
class.
This is the 50. This is the 50, which will boost her confidence
Yes.
a lot going forward.
Brilliant.
And yes, you can see from the reaction what it means to her. She
Yes.
has been struggling for some time, but then this is the stage where she wanted to deliver it, and she did.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, Arius Stark has mentioned a very good positive comment saying that she's just increased the price by 1 crore for tomorrow's auction, which is definitely something we'll talk about in the next 3-4 minutes. But look, just to sum up, India winning by 7 wickets, a sumptuous win, a super Sunday for all Indian fans, and they've got off their campaign to a flyer. And Vaishali said it at the top of the show, India are favourites, and now they've got, of course, over the line. Next in Gurkirat, we just discussed the player of the match. For you, who is it? Is it Jemima? Is it Richa? Talk to me. Next.
As I said, I think first preference, if you want to go by the order, Radha, Jemima, and Richa. So
Okay.
in the order of their place in the game, because had this been anywhere more, it would have been really tricky to chase this down. So
Yeah.
even with that 50 and that knock from Richa, I felt it would have been difficult. So in terms of setting up the game, I don't think it was set up. You definitely chased 15, 20 more. So I think Radha Yadav would make a very interesting choice, but won't be surprised if it's one of Jemima or Richa because it's a batter's game.
Yeah, I think Jemima would get it.
Yeah.
Probably if she not crossed that 50 run mark and and been dismissed, then it could have been Richa. But yeah, I, I don't think in T20s we have progressed yet so much to that we'll award cameos ahead of 50 plus scores when it comes to awarding the player of the match award. And this is a very 51-49 call. I mean, who you want to give it to, because 47 runs needed in 5 overs was not a spot where India had wanted to be, and from there on, actually, uh,
Shooting 4 overs.
it, it would be fair to say that it was Richa Ghosh who tilted the scales in India's favor. So I'd probably like to go for Richa Ghosh, but it won't be the worst call if they give it to Jemima either.
It'll be interesting, but it's been like I said, a brilliant performance from this Indian women's cricket team, and that will bode well for the rest of the campaign. Make no mistake,
going-
maybe going on, Disha has more rated shots than Shafali, even though Shafali doesn't drive the ball at all. I might be wrong. Yeah, Gurkirat?
I'm just saying that I'm leaving now.
Okay.
My dinner's here.
Okay, sure. Enjoy your dinner. before I get tucked into a women's IPL chat, before we, of course, get our dinner, and I have to buy her dinner, of course, now that I've just brought it upon myself. And all you 40 people watching, subscribe and tell a friend and like this particular video because India won. It's Sunday. It's a brand new week ahead. It's a Valentine's week ahead as well. There's love in the air.
And it can't get bigger than this, winning your opening game, that too against your arch rivals Pakistan. So yes, India did it in style. We all were a bit shaky at some point of time, but at the end, Jarima and Richa did the job for us. What Aisha Naseem and Biswa was doing for Pakistan, we got the job done, and I think it's only up and good things from here.
It's very good. I mean, Nick's now it's what India beating Pakistan in South Africa and T20 World competitions in 3 different cities. Now the men's did it in Durban and of course Joburg. Now the women's doing it in Cape Town. So something to boast about as well. Can this Indian women team beat Australian women? That's the question that we asked Subhash earlier. Of course, you can rewind it and have your thoughts about it as well. And of course, listen to Vaishali and what Nick's had to say. Just before we wrap up, the women's IPL, of course, hits our screen tomorrow. We spoke about all the frequency asked questions with Vaishali earlier on. But what I want to do right now is just predict what's going to happen and who's going to go for big money. If you guys can stick your neck up, Nick and Vaishali, and tell me, who do you think it is? Is it Richa Ghosh? Is it some of the Australian women's cricketers out there? Tell me 3 names to look forward to in the women's IPL auction.
Okay, in terms of the money?
Yeah.
Okay, I think Smriti Mandhana.
Okay.
Then you have Alice Perry.
Okay.
And then you have Ghosh.
Wow, those are brilliant names. Can you get better names or do you agree with Vaishali? Okay.
I missed the third name. The third name was?
Ash Gardner.
Ash Gardner. Okay, so I definitely think Amelia Kerr would definitely get a good amount. I hope Dan Dicker gets that amount as well. But from India, I think Deepti Sharma and Richa Ghosh will definitely get a hefty amount. So those 2 and Amelia Kerr.
Okay, super. Love it. I'm going to predict Deanna Dalton. Is she there?
Yeah,
she's there. So the little Gale effect that she could have. And then I'd probably go for South African for the AV-ness in terms of a Sulus or someone of that ilk. And then Harmanpreet. I want to see Harmanpreet wear that red jersey. But that's my subjective calls. But it's been absolute fun to pick Nick's mind and, of course, Vaishali as well. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed yourself and we made you feel comfortable. I need to buy you that dinner as well. So that's all the more fun. Smriti, most expensive. Shefali, the second most expensive, saying Greg. Who knows? It could be Richa Ghosh as well, who started with a 20 ball 31 to get India over the line. Guys, it's been fun. Like I said, it's about 9:45. We have plenty of things to do. So we'll end the broadcast right now. Final words with you.
Thank you, everyone, first of all, for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed our show. And we will be doing this watch along for all the matches that we have ahead. India has started brilliantly. Obviously, there will always be some kind of ups and downs here and there. But then overall, if you see, it was a good game. We can definitely improve on our fielding. But then Jemima showing that kind of confidence, Jemima being there at number 3 and doing this thing is what India needs. You imagine Smriti Mandhana coming back in this side and we will be this side to be in this tournament. So I think we started really well against our arch rivals Pakistan, winning this match, the opening match. And I can't wait for the next games to happen. And just to tell you guys, Jemima is the player of the match.
Yeah, she just confirmed that. And indeed, I mean, it's been good to talk to you, Nikhil, as well. And we'll see you soon at the course of the week. And like Vaishali just mentioned, the fact that this Indian team has beaten Pakistan comprehensively without Smriti Mandhana bodes superbly well for them. So catch us in terms of the next watch long. Until then, it's a goodbye from us. Have a fantastic week ahead. And to all you lovely people out there, it's a good night from us. And we'll see you shortly.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, India winning.